Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the problem of the day. Be sure to answer the questions asked out loud and think about how your work is the same or different from what we talk about together. So how would you put 12 and 35 hundredths into a place value chart? Explain how you know where each digit would go and do that out loud. Go ahead. Sure. So we've got 1 in the tens place, so we put 1 right for the tens. And then we've got 2 ones, so 2 in the ones place, and then our decimal, of course, right? And then we have 35 hundredths. So we know that that is 3 tenths and 5 hundredths. We can also just see, right, that there's a 3 in the tenths place, and there is a 5 in the hundredths place, and so that's exactly where we're going to put them in our place value chart. Okay, so my question is, why are place value charts helpful? Say it out loud. Yeah, they help us to see the value, right, of each digit in the number by showing that value in the labeled place columns. Keep this in mind. Read it with me. A place value chart helps us see the value of each digit in a number. Okay, great. So let's move forward then into expanded form. All right. How would you write 12 and 35 hundredths in expanded form? Explain how you know. Say it out loud. Right. We'd write 10 plus 2 plus 3 tenths plus 5 hundredths, right? And the thinking here that you know, I think, is the value of the digit depends on the place that it's in, right? So 1 tens means 10, 2 ones, 2. 3 in the tenths place means 3 tenths. 5 in the hundredths, 5 hundredths. All right, and just so we're clear, why do we write this 5 as 5 hundredths? Say it out loud. Yeah, that 5 is in the hundredths spot, isn't it? And to write it, we need to put it 2 places to the right of the decimal point. Okay, so how was the place value chart helpful here in writing in expanded form? Say it out loud. Yeah, it just shows the value of each digit right there, doesn't it? Which is nice when we're translating to expanded form. Okay, how would you write 12 and 35 hundredths in word form? And explain how you know. Say it out loud. Right. 12 and 35 hundredths. We write it just like we say it. Okay, why do we have an and here in this written form of the word? Say it out loud. Yeah, we use and when we read numbers with decimals. The decimal separates the wholes from the parts, and we read it and we write it as and. Okay, great. So now let's talk about fraction form. How would you write this number as a fraction, and how do you know? Say it out loud. it'd be a mixed number, right? 12 and 35 over 100, because we've got 12 wholes and we've got 35 hundredths, so 35 out of 100 is a fraction. All right, what if I wanted to put this mixed number onto a number line? What two whole numbers would it come in between, and why? Say it out loud. Yes, it would come between 12 and 13, right? Because we've got 12 wholes, and then we've got part of another whole. That's what a fraction or a decimal is. So we know we're somewhere between 12 and 13. Okay, let's be even more specific now. Which tenths would 12 and 35 hundredths come between, and why? Say it out loud. Yeah, it would come right between 12 and 1, 2, 3 tenths and 12 and 4 tenths. And it goes there because we have 35 hundredths, so that means we've actually got 3 tenths, right? And then 5 more hundredths, which isn't enough to get to 4 tenths yet. So we'd be between 12 and 3 tenths and 12 and 4 tenths. So, as you're working today, remember, place value chart helps us see the value of each digit in a number. It's a useful first step as you're working between different forms of decimals and fractions.